Welcome to freetradingvideos.com, and hold on to your knickers, folks. We're going to move fast. This is the weekend edition. Check this out. Friday rounded out the numbers on the downside. Dow down 1.7%, closing at 7,062. NASDAQ closed down about 1% under the 1400 mark. S&P closing down a full 2.3%. It was the big loser of today, closing at 735, well below the 750 mark. Gain, we're going to talk about that. Russell's down 1%. VIX up almost 4%. We are above the 45 mark, and that is the fear indicator. Here we are, S&P daily. We broke a big support line right here at 740. We closed at 735. Boom, we got there. Right now we're at this big blue line that I was telling you in yesterday's video. On Thursday's video, we hit this. We're finding support right there. Woe to us if we close below 730 next week. If we close below 730 next week, that is big time troubles. So the only chance we have is this support line. Here's the MACD. Look at the MACD. We have histogram to the negative side. We are rolling over here on the MACD. I'm going to bring in the weekly chart on the S&P. Here's the weekly chart. And here, boom, 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 we just continue down. We do have some support right here at the 730 mark, which is on the weekly. We had that back in November 08. And that's precisely where we're at right now. If we were to go below 730, our next stop, far as we are concerned here on this trend line, would be 600. That is a big drop. Big drop. So let's look at the monthly on the S&P. Here it is. Here's the monthly. I drew a couple support lines. We broke a big one. That was this 800 right here. And we're on our way down. And you can see where we had support right here. And we're on our way down to these other levels. If it looks like we are heading to 670 area, 670. After that, we're actually right at the 500 and just a smidge below 500. So wow, that's just huge. This is a monthly chart, by the way, and there's just nothing below it. I mean, there's no support here, gang. We are in dire straits on the markets. So let's take a look at the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ here dropped down, giving us what's called a gravestone doji. Gravestone dojis are bearish, but also could be looked at as an inverted hammer. So both of them, just pay special attention to this. What I don't like is we're below this 1400. Man, we are decisively below it right now. The only support we have on the daily, boom, right here, 1320 area, 1318, 1315. 1315 is support. That's a big drop from where we're at, 1377 to 1315. Then we have a little support, right here at 1300 itself. And under there, not a whole lot, but let's bring in the weekly to take a look at what's going on in the weekly. Now the weekly actually looks the most bullish out of all of them, if you want to call any of them bullish. We're still above this trend line. We're still above it. We have major support right here, the lows we had in November and 08, which puts us right around 1280. If we close below 1280, it should be a free fall, right down here to this, 1025 area on this trend line. So that could be a real trouble. And listen, I would listen to this video again and mark down all these numbers I'm giving you. These are key numbers. Here's the monthly on the NASDAQ. Had the triangle. We broke down on the triangle. We're sitting at major support. So at least we're sitting at support. How do we get that support? We come right here, right there, right here. There's some support. That's where we're at. And then we have this area. So if we crack below this area, if we go below the 1350 area, if we crack below 1350, if we go below that, next stop 1100. You can see that right there. Next stop, I would call this stop 790, 780, 780. Next stop, just you're in trouble. Yeah. People say the NASDAQ is the leading indicator to the markets. Actually, the NASDAQ looks the most bullish to me. Let's take a look at the Dow. Dow usually mimics the S&P. We're dropping. We broke this support area. Man, I'll tell you, we're at a nice little low here. We're at 7,062, and we have some support down here at 68.80. 68.80. So that's, the next support area. Let's look here at we have a tick to the negative right there on the Dow on the MACD. Let's bring in the weekly chart. Had a little wedge type triangle, whatever. We crashed. We had support. Where did that support come from? I'll show you. Our low right there. Yeah, our low right here. Actually, I could bring this up just a smidgen right there. We cracked right through it. So where's our next area? Would be right here. 69 should be the next area, and then we should just crash and burn if we get through that 69 area on the weekly. And let's see here. Here's the big monthly. Pay special attention to these numbers. We've got a number of support areas, so let's talk about these. We cracked through more support than you can imagine right here. Boom, we're down below it. We're at 7,062 as we just said. And next stop is actually below 6,000. It goes right to 56.66. Oh, 666. Read into that. Next stop, geez, 4,000, 3,900, 3,900. Next stop, 34, almost 3,500. And there we are. Can you imagine the Dow at 3,500? Next stop, 50. It looks like about 57, about 5,700. 5,700. Next stop, 4,000. There's where we are at on the Dow. So let's take a look at the Russells. The Russells can also act as a leading indicator, and we have major support line coming down. We are at major support. Do we have an inverted hammer, or do we have a gravestone doji? Anybody's guess, but it looks the most bullish. The NASDAQ, Russells look the most bullish. Russells has a lot of support under it right now. I could see that going up. If it breaks below 385, if we close below 385, we are in big trouble. Watch 385 on the Russells. Next stop, 370 area. And let's pull in the weekly. Here's the weekly. And we're above that trend line still, just like the NASDAQ, looking good. We got some nice support at 370. 370 comes right there. And then if we crack through there, next stop, oh man, about 300. 300, next stop. Actually a little lower, 290. Next stop. After that, next stop is around 195. That's on the weekly. Let's look at the monthly. Pay special attention to these numbers, and we have a bunch of support here. So right now we can go down feasibly on the Russells at 377. I see it stopping there. Maybe 370. If we get below 370, next major area be 360. Major area. Next stop, 325. Next stop, 300. Next stop, 265. Next stop, right at 200, 210. 210. Next stop, 170. Next stop, 120. There you have them. Watch the video again. Watch them again, and let me show you something briefly. Very fast. On a 3-month, we're looking back at the sectors, and we have, going back 6 months, healthcare is doing best, utilities, and look what's happened. Right now, if you go back 1 month, 6 months, healthcare, utilities, 3 months, technology jumped to the front of the pack. Pay special attention to that. Technology is acting very bullish. Sometimes that will take us to higher grounds. So watch technology. That could be the leading indicator to be focusing on. So there you have it. Welcome to freetradingvideos.com, and that's it for the weekend edition.